What's going on, everyone? My name's Alpha, and today we're back with another Pokemon challenge video. Might sound a little different. I'm in a different recording spot for just now because some renovations in the house, but you guys don't care about that, some boring stuff. Anyways, today's challenge will be in celebration of Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remakes. We're playing Platinum. Ironically, we haven't played Platinum in such a long time, but our Platinum challenge for today is Pokemon Platinum Hardcore Nuzlocke using only Cynthia's team. Now I want to do this on the remakes, but I realized there's some struggles with that because there is no Cynthia starter Pokemon pack. So I want to modify the ROM hack, obviously, and switched out one of the Pokemon just to be Cynthia's Pokemon. Cynthia doesn't have a normal starter Pokemon, so we're gonna give ourselves a Spiritomb as a starter because Spiritomb might be one of the harder Pokemon to get. Everything else should be like reasonable. Is multiple iterations of Cynthia's actual team. As you can see from her Diamond Pearl, her Platinum team are obviously different, and then her Black and White 2 team and her Black and White team is completely different. So I'm just gonna congregate all her teams in unison and have a giant amazing team that we can build out of. I think there's like 8 Pokemon that we can use in total, so it's gonna be fun. And besides that, I want to go down the regular Nuzlocke rules. I completely forgot about that. Regular Nuzlocke rules: only the first encounter in each route is your only Pokemon. In this case, only Pokemon that Cynthia's own, and also fainting equals death, obviously. And hardcore means essentially no items inside the battle. You must play on set mode and no overleveling. There's a counter on the top right of the screen. That's the level cap. Every single gym Pokemon's ace, and we can't go above that. We can match it and we can go above it in the battle. We just can't enter the battle with a higher level Pokemon. And finally, the most important rule of every single challenge video of my channel: each of my Pokemon will be nicknamed after you guys in the comments. So thank you so much for leaving a comment in the previous challenge video. If you guys want to be nicknamed after a Pokemon in my future challenge video, just drop it in the comments and hopefully I'll pick yours. And while you guys are down there, do not forget to leave a like, comment down below some challenge ideas just like this one, and subscribe if you guys are not already. It greatly help my channel. Anyways, let's get into the challenge video itself. You might be wondering, is Spiritomb kind of broken? I know it's a ghost type, a ghost dark type. It has no weakness in generation 4, and I must say I do not care because Spiritomb is a cool Pokemon. It does get power clip, so at one point it does become kind of useless, but we'll get there when it gets there. Once we get through the tutorial battles of the game, we're able to go into the wild and catch ourselves a Budew. Now Budew, obviously Cynthia does have a Roserade in her team, so we're going to put that on the team, have it nicely. If you guys have not seen my grass hardcore challenge of Pokemon Platinum, it was fun. I love using Budew. Roserade in general is one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. But from there, we're going to go into Overleveling Mine and train up our Pokemon. Our Budew is not that strong. It has Absorb, maybe Mega Drain at one point, but that is it for now. As we head into the first gym leader fight of the game, we're going to face off against Rourke. I haven't said that in such a long time, but when we face off against Rourke, we're going to Mega Drain down to Geodude, one-shot it, and then Mega Drain down to Onix to one-shot it as well. I know the Cranidos is going to come out next. I really don't want to risk my Budew. Unfortunately, I did risk it as I switch out and Pursuit almost knocked me out. Luckily, Spiritomb can Hypnosis down to Cranidos, and I'm able to Feint Attack it. Feint Attack almost knocks it out in one shot. Can you see that? That's crazy. That is crazy power. And then I crit it and then knock him out. So we end up knocking out Rourke in like 4 turns, maybe 5 turns. And from there, since we do not have a Pokemon with Rock Smash to progress through the game, we're going to catch ourselves a Bidoof. I'm pretty sure Cynthia has a Bidoof somewhere. Like, none of her Pokemon really have like HMs anywhere, so she definitely has Bidoos and B-Barrels everywhere. From there, we're going to head into Valley Windworks, where we catch ourselves a Shellos. Shellos evolves to Gastrodon on Cynthia. You guys get the point. Anyways, after that, we're going to face off against Mars, beat down Mars just barely with 4 HP, and then face off against the second gym leader of the game in Eternal City against Gardenia. We're going to start the battle using our Spiritomb, Hypnosis down to Turtwig. We're able to 3-shot down to Turtwig, waste your Super Potion as well, which is a win-win in my book. Knock out a Turtwig, and then we're able to Hypnosis down to Cherim. She does so much damage with it, so I gotta switch out into my Budew. Budew luckily has a Growth as a setup move, so we're gonna Growth 6 times in front of Cherim. We're also gonna Stun Spore it, which is nice, and then we're able to Absorb, gain back all our HP, and knock out a Cherim. And then the Rosaries can come as her ace Pokemon. I have a Budew against my fully evolved form. So luckily for the mechanics of Generation 4, we're able to Stun Spore opposing grass type Pokemon. So we get Stun Spore it and then switch out into my Spiritomb. I might be risking it just a bit already, but Spiritomb can confuse Ray or the Rosary, and we're able to feint attack it and knock him out as well. And just like that, we knock out the Gardenia and we get the second gym badge of the game. Very risky, but that's probably like our only win con. I have a Shellos in the back. That's not going to do anything at all. From there, we're going to face off against Jupiter. This battle is a lot easier than the Mars fight. So we're going to clear through Jupiter and then head into Wayward Cave. Now, Wayward Cave, we're going to TM for Earthquake and also encounter our next Pokemon, which is going to be Gible. Evolves into Garchomp, Cynthia's Ace, of course. This thing has Dragon Rage, so we got to be careful of that. Luckily, very lucky, I confused it. It hits stuff in confusion into red HP, as you can see, and then I'm panicking. I gotta put this thing to sleep right now. So it's basically at 1 HP. I catch it with that ball, and we got the Gible without it knocking itself out with like takedown or something. So we're able to put that on a team and as well get ourselves an Eevee, which I do not remember this at all, but Cynthia has a Glaceon on her team. I don't know why everyone has a Glaceon. We also hatched the egg Cynthia gave us in the game, which is the Togepi. So we got a bunch of new Pokemon to play around with. We're not going to put Eevee on the team just yet. Our Pokemon is looking pretty solid. As we head into the third gym badge of the game, we're face off against Fantina. Fantina is going to be the Ghost type gym leader. We're going to start the battle using our Spiritomb, of course. Spiritomb can one-shot the Duskull and then one-shot the Haunter. And then Mismagius comes out next, and you can guess it, we two-shot the Mismagius and we beat Fantina. So, pretty simple. Now next up, we're going to head into Veilstone City. We're going to go into the gym of Veilstone City and face off against all the trainers in here. This is the part where I realized that Gabite is not that strong right now with his Dragon Rage. So I got to teach it to Earthquake, and we're going to face off against Maylene. Maylene's getting a fighting type gym leader in Veilstone City, and we're going to start the battle against her using our Roselia for once. We're in two-shot knockout of Meditite using Giga Drain, of course. And then she can switch out to a Machoke. I'm able to Giga Drain it. Does not do a lot of damage. And somehow Strength does that much damage. So I'm going to switch out into my Spiritomb. Spiritomb will obviously Hypnosis it. Come on, hit it. Thank you. And then we're able to Shadow Sneak, eventually knock out a Machoke. And then she's going to switch out to a Lucario. I can survive any attacks. Once I land the Hypnosis, I'm going to switch out into my Gabite to Earthquake. And I actually one-shot the Lucario using my Gabite. Now I gotta be very careful with Gabite because it's very frail into as a Garchomp. So I'm 16 levels away, I just gotta play very carefully. Once we're done with Maylene, there's not much for us to do. We're gonna head south into Pastoria City, where we head into the water gym. This is the gym where I thought there's gonna be a lot of issues and problems, so I decided to bring along Eevee and train that thing up as well. We're going to head into the battle against Crash Awake, the water type gym leader in Pastoria City, the 5th gym leader, I believe. And we're going to start the battle against Crash Awake using our Spiritomb. Now Spiritomb, I taught a Shockwave. I'm going to Hypnosis it and then Shockwave up against the Gyarados. I was going to try to set up. It does too much damage for me to set up, so setup is not going to work out. Shockwave is going to knock out the Gyarados, but since I have no HP to do anything else, I decided to switch out into my Gastrodon. Gastrodon takes a crunch. I could body submit and paralyze it, but my defense drops, so I gotta switch out into my Eevee. Fortunately, Eevee will go down. This is the one and only fight of Eevee, so that's it. I switch out into my Roselia to Giga Drain, knock out the Floatzel, and Giga Drain, knock out the Quagsire. And we get the 5th gym badge of the game with our first death, unfortunately, but I knew I gotta sack something because it's never gonna work out that easily. We're able to beat Crash Awake and we finally progressed through the game. Next up, we're gonna get the HM for Surf for beating Cyrus, and we can surf around. Now, once we're done getting all the items, we're gonna face off against Barry at Canalave City in the infamous bridge fight. Now, in this bridge fight, I normally would skip over it because there's normally nothing that happens. Fortunately, something happened. I'm able to set up using my Spiritomb to sweep down a Staraptor, which is normal. Also knock out the Heracross for me, which is pretty nice. I decided to switch out to my Gastrodon against the Infernape. This can force him out into his Rosary, which is going to be a tough battle because I don't have too much things to knock out the Rosary with. Togetic doesn't do too much damage, as you can see. I'm going to switch in between my Togetic and my Roselia. Luckily for us, my Gabite gets in there in between and can knock out the Rosary for us. He's gonna switch out to his Floatzel next. I got kind of scared because I need to preserve my Gabite. I switch into my Roselia, and I'm like, oh, okay, it didn't do too much using Aqua Jet. Pursuit decides to crit me and knock me out in one shot. So no matter what I did, even if I switch out in that scenario, I would have died to the Pursuit, which is so dumb. So I lost a second Pokemon already, just back to back, from the Eevee now into the Roselia. I actually really like Roselia. I'm just mad that I just lost it for no reason. So I lost my grass type. Roselia goes down. We end up beating the battle, of course, and we beat Barry, and then we're gonna head into the Iron Islands. The Iron Islands, nothing for us to do. We're gonna speedrun it because Riley is actually useless. He only has one Pokemon, and if that Pokemon ever goes down, he's completely useless. For instance, we're gonna go into this double battle fight, and then we lose Lucario on the first turn. The very first turn, you could do anything, just dies instantly. So we had to go through this entire battle just outplaying them, using my Spiritomb, my Gastrodon, anything possible. I almost died to the Curlia. Luckily, I survived with red HP using my Gastrodon. From there, we just gotta outplay them, and lucky at the end, a Gabite will knock out the rest of his Pokemon. But that could have been really bad. Riley really put me in a really bad spot. It could have been really bad, but now after we help Riley get into the end and push Team Galactic out of the Iron Islands, he's gonna give us an egg which has Riolu, of course. Something useful, I guess. I mean, we could lose our entire team, but I guess he gave us something useful. From there, we also get a Shining Stone, which will evolve our Togetic into a Togekiss. And then from there, we're going to head back into Valley Windworks. Now, people don't actually know this. You go into the Ironworks over here north of Floor-O-Matum, I think. And in here, you can get the TM for Flamethrower. I'm not too sure how many people know that. I do remember it being a well-known secret, but not a lot of people talk about it. So yeah, that's there. As we head into the next gym fight against Byron. Byron's going to be the Steel-type gym leader, and it would have made more sense if he had a Magnezone. But he has a Magneton, and I'm going to start the battle using my Gastrodon, which will one-shot him using Mud Bomb, obviously. And then he's going to switch out to Steelix, which will get surfed. And then he dies. I also have a Mystic Water on. That's probably why he does so much damage. Bastiodon also goes down to one surf. And we beat Byron. Yeah. Jeez, I've never had anything to say about Byron. From there, we're going to hatch the egg for Riolu, and then eventually evolve it into a Lucario. As we face off against Saturn, that just blew up a bomb in Lake Valor, which somehow gets magically fixed in like 20 minutes. This entire lake will be filled up without any signs of damage at all, which is amazing. From there, we're going to face off against Mars. Not a big deal. Lucario gets to shine a little bit, knock out the Pearl Ugly, and then we can head into Mount Coronet, where we could find our final Pokemon of the game, which is going to be a Feebas, and I just don't have the patience for this. Now, the best method to find Feebas, which is the final Pokemon, which is Milotic on her team, is to go into every single towel and then fish it up using Good Rod. Unfortunately, I do not have the patience for that. I got to the end. It did not work. I did not find a Feebas at all. I didn't find anything at all. Maybe I did it wrong, but I tried my best. I promise you, I tried. It just didn't work. So I'm gonna give over the Feebas. These are the only Pokemon I'm gonna have on my team. As we head into Snowpoint City, we're gonna teach our Pokemon some new moves. We're gonna teach our Lucario Shadow Claw and Drain Punch, and teach our Togekiss Flamethrower just in case. As we face off against the 7th gym leader in the game, we're gonna face off against Candace. Candace. Moving on, I'm a 21-year-old man saying this out loud. We're gonna face off against Candace. We're gonna start the battle using our Lucario against her. We're gonna set up using Sword Stance, and then we're gonna take an Air Release, and then Force Palm knock out the Sneasel, and then Force Palm knock out the Piloswine, and also the Abomasnow. And then the Frostlass comes on next. I'm able to Shadow Claw and knock him out using my Lucario, and Lucario just beast him. Then there goes Candace. Well, 7 gym leader down. That's basically it. What a really easy gym fight. What's the hardest gym fight? I don't know. I guess Crash Awake technically. That's the hardest one I can think. Oh, maybe Gardenia. I think Gardenia is the hardest one so far. Anyways, we're gonna climb up this hill and get the TM for Ice Beam. Put down our Gastrodon. I would like to put down our Milotic, but we didn't get one. I want to harp on that fact that I'm frustrated that we couldn't get one. Anyways, we're gonna head into the Team Galactic hideout. Watch Cyrus have this kind of cool speech. I hope this is in the remix. If it's not in the remix, I'm gonna be upset. I don't think that's in the remix though. He had a little speech in front of all the galactic grunts, and then from there we're gonna destroy him using our entire team. Gastron will knock out his Crobat, and we beat Cyrus. We also beat Saturn. I mean, Saturn's not too big of an issue ever. Now once we beat Saturn, we're able to go into Mount Coronet and we can start training up our Pokemon. Now once we're in Mount Coronet, I'm actually surprised by this. We head into the double battle fight with Mars and Jupiter, and all we gotta do to avoid any damage at all from us is use our Spiritomb to use Nasty Plot against them. Once we use Nasty Plot against them, we're able to Shadow Ball and knock out everything in one shot. As you see, Skunk Tank goes down, everything goes down. We're able to knock out the entirety of Mars and Jupiter without losing a single Pokemon, and we're able to evolve our Galar into a Garchomp. So we got a Garchomp for our troubles. I'm not complaining. From there though, the Distortion world appears. You know, Azelf, UC, and Mesprit kind of just summons the demons out of there. We gotta go into the Distortion world, which even in I think we're in like 5 times speed. This Distortion world takes forever. I mean, look at this waterfall. I hate this waterfall. In real time, it takes like at least 20 seconds. I'm using 5 times speed right now, and it's still taking forever. From there, we're gonna clear through the puzzle in the Distortion world, and we're gonna face off against Cyrus next. Cyrus is going to be the final galactic member we face off against. We're gonna start the battle against him using our Garchomp, our newly acquired Garchomp. Garchomp is gonna outspeed his Houndoom, and Earthquake will knock him out in one shot. Then he's gonna switch out to his Weavile. Obviously, he's gonna be powerful. I survive any hits he has, and then I could Drain Punch him up, get my HP back against him. And he's gonna switch out to his Gyarados. I decided to switch out into my Togekiss because I know it's gonna Earthquake me, because what else move he's gonna use. I'm getting Ancient Power. I have Serene Grace. Luckily, I have a stat boost up in the second time I use it, so I'm gonna try to use Air Slash to flinch him. I do end up flinching the Gyarados, and then I'm able to Ancient Power again, get a crit, and then I'm able to Air Slash to knock out the Gyarados, and it was looking pretty good for us. We're able to Air Slash against the Honchkrow to flinch him and knock him out in 2 shots. We're able to Air Slash 2-shot, knock out the Crobat, and we beat Cyrus. So, surprising, that's how the battle goes. From there, we're going to face off against Giratina using our Garchomp. We're not going to fight it because I know this thing is a monster, and I'm not going to risk anything. So, I'm just going to run it away. Giratina is done. We are finished with the main story of the game, essentially. All we got to do is head into Sunnyshoard City. We're going to face off against all the trainers in here, get some nice XP, and face off against Volkner. Volkner is going to be the electric gym of the game. I do not like his Diamond Pro team at all. It just has a bunch of random Pokemon. But luckily we can face off against an actual electric team. This electric team of 4 Pokemon will go down in 4 turns. We're going to Earthquake, knock out the Jolteon, the Luxray, the Electivire, of course, and the Raichu. There's nothing they could do about it. So we beat Volkner in 4 turns. I don't know how he had fun. He just got dismantled. So that's it. Next up, we're gonna head into Victory Road. There's not too much for us to do. We're gonna opt in, just trying to get it through it as fast as we can, and then we're gonna face off against Barry. Barry's gonna be the final battle before we head into the Elite Four. Make sure we're at the level cap and not above it before we enter the Elite Four, of course. We're gonna face off against the Staraptor and just one-shot him using our Ancient Power. We get the stat boost up, so I mean, lets us use Air Slash whenever we want. We one-shot his Floatos as well, and his Heracross, which, oh my god, this is embarrassing for him. The Snorlax gets me down on low HP, so I don't want to risk anything. Switch out into my Lucario, and then I'm able to Drain Punch and knock out the Snorlax for us. Infernape comes on next. I want to switch out into my Spiritomb to take any hits, obviously, and then Garchomp will knock out the Infernape for us and the Roserade. And it's looking pretty good for us. Now it's time to head into the Elite Four challenge. We're going to face off against the first Elite Four member in the game. We're going to face off against Aaron, or Aaron. We're going to start the battle against him using our Togekiss, of course. We're going to Air Slash the Yanmega. One-shot him to the face. We might be a slightly higher level than we should be, but you know, it evens out eventually. I'm scared of the Drapion, so I decided to switch out into my Garchomp, which will take the Ice Beam. And luckily, it can outspeed him using Earthquake. Will one-shot the Drapion for me. I can switch back into my Togekiss to take a Mega Horn. I want to outspeed him anyways. I should have used Roost here, but I didn't. Now I'm going to use Roost against the Vespi Queen. Take a Power Gem easily. Take another Roost up. You know, free recovery. I am going to Ancient Power, trying to get some stat boosts up. I don't get a stat boost, but I'm able to air slash 3-shot the Vespi Queen, and I flinch him on the second one. And then I'm able to air slash once again, knock him out. And then the Scizor comes on next. I have Flamethrower for coverage, and this is just a hellish battle for Aaron. We beat Aaron pretty easily, pretty convincingly, not lose a single Pokemon. Next up, we're going to face off against Bertha. Bertha is going to be the ground type elite, remember. We're going to start the battle against her using our Garchomp. It's going to Dragon Claw, force him to use a full restore, which works for us. And then Dragon Claw will knock out the Wish Cast eventually. It's going to switch out into Gliscor. I did not know Gliscor has Ice Fang, so I got to be careful of that. I dodged it, and then Ice Beam will knock out the Gliscor for us, which is great. Hippowdon comes on next. I decided to just recover up against him, and Earthquake will do like barely any damage to me. Well, barely is a loose term, but I could survive 2 Earthquakes if I'm at full HP. So I'm just gonna surf him with Mystic Water. Hippowdon goes down. Golem also goes down in one shot as well, and then finally her Rapier in the back. I decided to recover up. I was like, oh no, this thing does a lot of damage. What can I do? My first strategy was to switch into my Togekiss to avoid the Earthquake and then try to get it to Rock Wrecker me as I switch into Lucario. This didn't work to the plan at all, because eventually it's going to hit pretty hard because it does a lot of damage. I know I could recover off the damage, but I can't really do too much. It has Avalanche, which will knock out my Garchomp as well. So I can't really do too much. I'm just trying to think outside the box. And then eventually he starts choking, and then he hits me with a Rock Wrecker onto my Lucario, which I'm able to Drain Punch him up. Does about half, but it recovers using Citrus Berry, and I'm back to square one essentially. So I want to switch out into my Spiritomb next, and able to put him to sleep using Hypnosis. Then I'm able to Nasty Plot up, and Shadow Ball will do about half to him. So I'm able to 2-shot him using Shadow Ball, and luckily Spiritomb clutched it up, and we beat the Rapier, and we beat Bertha. So things are looking pretty nice for us as we head into the next fight against Flint. Now this fight is just a waste of PP for us. I mean, 5 Pokemon, 5 Earthquakes. It just wastes PP for us, and it's kind of more embarrassing that we have to show it. So Earthquake 5 times. I outspeed him. Earthquake. Garchomp is just really strong. Like really strong. Like this is why Cynthia has an ace Garchomp on her team. So once we're done with that, we're gonna face off against Lucian. Lucian is gonna be the Psychic type Elite Four member of the game. We're gonna start the battle against him using our Spiritomb. We're gonna Hypnosis down his Mr. Mime, and then Nasty Plot up against him, and then Shadow Ball will knock him out in one shot. And I'm like, well, I mean, he put up Reflect, so why not just keep Shadow Ball? I get 2 Quick Claws back to back, knock out his Alakazam, and I'm like, oh, that's fun. Shadow Ball again would knock out his Espeon, and his Bronzong comes on next. This is free rent. I'm just gonna Nasty Plot up once again. Shadow Ball will knock out the Bronzong. I survive with 60 HP, and then I don't think anything the Gallade in the back can do right now. So I'm just gonna risk it. I think I could take any damage. So Shadow Ball will knock out the Gallade. Getting a little too cocky, I gotta calm it down. I live with 4 HP, but I'm able to knock out the Gallade, beat Lucian, and it's time to head into the champion room. We're gonna face off against Cynthia. Cynthia's gonna be the champion of the game. We're in mirror fight. We're gonna face off against Spiritomb versus Spiritomb to start off with. We're gonna Hypnosis down her Spiritomb, and then Nasty Plot up. We get 3 Nasty Plot up as he's just sleeping. Just we're able to Shadow Ball, just one-shot the Spiritomb to his face, and then he's gonna send out Lucario next. I survive a hit against it, not too well, but I'm going to Hypnosis down to Lucario, and then Shadow Ball will knock him out in one shot. Well, 2 shots, because Steel type is still resistance to it for some reason. And then he's gonna switch out to his Garchomp. Luckily Quick Claw will do a lot of damage as Shadow Ball almost knock out the Garchomp, but Earthquake will send me to the Shadow Realm, and Spiritomb unfortunately goes down, but it did a lot of work for me. So valiant effort. I decided to switch out into my Gastrodon. Gastrodon would take an Earthquake, and an Ice Beam would knock out the Garchomp for us. Unfortunately, next up will be the Roserade. Don't know what to do, so I switch out into my Togekiss. Togekiss will survive one, obviously, and then Ancient Power, trying to get a stat boost against him. Does not work. I had Toxic up against him. No Ancient Power boost, so I want to switch it up. Air Slash, guarantee the KO, and then they're gonna switch out into her Togekiss, her own Togekiss. I'm like, well, this might be the end. I don't know what to do. I'm gonna let my Togekiss go down against her, and then switch out into my Lucario. Now this might be a risky play. I want Sword Stance up. I do outspeed the Togekiss, but I can't do too much against him. Aura Sphere gets me down to low HP, but this is where she chokes. I Drain Punch, get my HP back as she Water Poses. I survived the Water Post, which is hilarious because I cannot believe that actually happened. So I survived the Water Post, so I'm able to Drain Punch once again to knock out the Togekiss because the choke. And then she sends out her Milotic. I'm able to Drain Punch that thing, get my HP back all the way up, survive a Surf, and she choked. She just choked. Cynthia just choked against Cynthia's team. And we end up Drain Punching twice to knock out the Milotic. And we beat Cynthia. And we are the champions of Sinnoh. We destroyed her team using our own team. We destroyed Sinnoh basically with her own team. So I could see why she became champion so easily. So anyways, this is the end of the battle. This is the end of the hardcore Nuzlocke. We ended up with 4 deaths. Not too bad. We ended up with 1 missing Pokemon that we couldn't get, which is Milotic. But overall, I really enjoyed this challenge. Spiritomb was actually the GOAT, the MVP. And I want to say thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Hope you guys all enjoyed this type of video. If you guys want to see more, just let me know in the comments, and for sure I'll do more. Anyways, my name's been Alpha. Hope you guys all had a great day. Please do not forget to leave a like, comment down below some challenge ideas just like this one, and subscribe if you guys are not already. Really help my channel. My name's been Alpha. Hope you guys all had a great day. I'm out. Peace.